I'm feeling incredibly grossed out, so this may be hormones talking. I just gave birth a couple of weeks ago. Back in March, my husband and I bought an RV for $1,500 that needed new floors, some patchwork on the roof around the skylight windows, and some updated appliances. We worked on the RV all summer and sunk in over $4,000. Updated appliances are the only thing left to complete, but it's optional. Since we just had our baby though, that's being put on hold. But we still intended to complete it by next summer so we could go camping and travel around for a few months. That's why we got the RV to begin with. Now my husband's sister, Jamie, 38, is having marital problems, apparently. And for whatever reason, my mother-in-law thought it would be okay our Jamie. She could have our RV since we aren't using it anyways. We're in no contact with Jamie following her running her mouth us to the rest of the family because I refused to watch her dog for free anymore because I was heavily pregnant, and her dog is a big untrained nuisance. We haven't spoken to Jamie in at least 3 months. We went 100% no contact when we found out she was heavily trashing our names. So why mother-in-law would give our stuff to Jamie baffles me on many levels. Therefore, when mother-in-law came here and said, "I told Jamie she could have your RV because she needs to get out of her house. We already have renovation plans for the camper," I was angry. I asked her why she would give away stuff that wasn't hers and why she would think this was acceptable. She pulled the family helps family and pay it forward talk. Much to my surprise, my husband said, "Whatever, she already told my sister she could have it and maybe is good karma." He was angry, but still agreed just to give it away. I basically told them both to go screw themselves because I worked hard on this RV all summer while uncomfortable and pregnant, and I'll be damned if it's given away to a no-contact family member right from under my nose without even asking. My husband told his mom he would bring the RV to his sisters within the week. Without doing much thinking at all, honestly, I backed up the baby and moved us into the RV. I'm not okay with giving away the RV, and they both know it. So I took the extreme route. My husband says I'm being overdramatic and that we can get another RV eventually. We can't afford to buy a new one come camping season. Am I the idiot? You have a problem with your boundary stomping in-laws and your husband who just lets them. Why would your other-in-law give anyone your RV, much less one you've worked on for months? And why is your husband letting a walk all over him? So family helps family. What has Jamie done to help you? She's having a fit because you don't want to watch her dogs and talking smack, and you were supposed to just give her an expensive RV? I don't think so. You are not the idiot. He's a coward who's clearly scared to stand up to mommy. Opie, your husband is a doormat and will raise your child to be a doormat. Tell him no. Stay in the RV as long as it's safe and tell him you aren't coming back to him until he gets therapy for being a doormat, because one thing I do know, a doormat raises another doormat. If family helps family, let her mom help. Her mother is not helping her son or Grant by reassigning someone else's assets. She didn't teach her daughter to respect when the family was already helping. It's not on you to set yourself on fire to keep sister-in-law warm. Mother-in-law and husband both need to stop pretending it is. Sure, you'll let your sister-in-law have it. For $80,000 or whatever price will sufficiently cover the sentimental value, physical, and emotional labor already put in. Mom was helping. She knew where to get an RV for free. Ever notice how only the most cancerous piece of crap people say, their family or family helps family, because it's just some crappy way to try and force someone to do something that's rarely ever justified. OP should list mother-in-law's belongings and who they should be given away to and start with something expensive that she's not using, like mother-in-law's engagement ring. I agree. Hey, mother-in-law. I'm gonna sell your TVs and kitchen appliances to my uncle's cousin's baby's mama's half-cousin twice removed. Family helps family after all. I am sorry this is happening to you. Tell your husband that either he's married to you or mommy dearest. I die on this hill. The amount of audacity, overstepping, entitlement and pure blatant disrespect cannot be tolerated anymore. Background info: my husband loves cooking. He goes all out for dinners, and even his lazy meals can sometimes seem extravagant, so our children have a mature palate. He especially loves when we have guests that when he goes all out, he plans his meal in advance and gets extremely excited. My husband and I had dinner with our friends and our kids. My husband made us Arabic salad and garlic bread on the side with mashed potatoes and braised duck served with a sauce. When everyone came, we had 3 parents and 7 children. My husband and I served everyone food and everyone complimented it. But my husband noticed one of my friends called Melissa's child Danny, young grammar school, not eating. So he asked him if he didn't like the food, and he nodded his head no. Melissa chimed in and said he doesn't have a mature palate, and my husband said, sorry. We have more mashed potatoes. Maybe you can eat it without the sauce. Melissa said he doesn't eat mash. My husband said, fine. I can microwave or make him something quick. Melissa said, thank you, and told him frozen chicken nuggets would be good. My husband said, oh, we don't eat frozen food, but how about cereal, PB&J, grilled cheese, or leftover spaghetti bolognese? And she said cereal. The next thing that happened was that my husband served the ice cream and carrot cake. Melissa's other son, Rob, between, said this ice cream was so good. My daughter preschool said, me and my daddy made it. We don't need the store-bought crap, and everyone laughed. This is my fault. I was mocking my husband early. Or asking him what he was making. And he said ice cream, and I said sarcastically that we're too good for store-bought crap. It was a force of habit. I'm a 100% sure she didn't say it with any bad intentions. Yesterday, I received a call from Melissa saying she felt like my husband and I were looking down on her, and mommy ashamed her because we said we don't eat frozen food. I was just about to apologize because I never wanted to make someone feel mommy ashamed until this woman. She felt sorry for my daughter because she could already see my snobbishness and self-centeredness spreading to her because of that comment my daughter made about crap ice cream. And that is where I draw a line. I told her not to mention my daughter's name when wanting to address me and that she shouldn't worry about feeling inferior because she would be invited to my home again. Our friend decided to get involved, and they kept saying that I should apologize because they didn't want to be left in the middle of, and they felt like I was wrong because I should have known that food was too mature for a kid's palate. I honestly don't care. I have friends outside this friend group and honestly don't mind cutting them off. This might be an exaggerated reaction, but I'm very sensitive about my daughter and want to know if I'm overreacting. If you're fine losing your friend because you refuse to acknowledge your daughter said something rude, fine. It was rude regardless of whether your daughter understood that it was or not. That means you are the one who should apologize. So yes, I think you are the idiot. It's pretty silly that your husband decided to make all this fancy food knowing that more kids would be in attendance than adults. LOL. Who in their right mind thinks, oh, we're inviting people with children over for dinner? Let's make dark. LOL. I feel like it's totally fair that someone could interpret we don't eat frozen food as opposed to we don't have chicken nuggets as a dig. Your daughter also sounded like she was repeating something snobby that she'd overheard. Your friend is out of line for passing judgment on a little girl, though, I feel like everyone's the idiot here. Duck is now fancy. How do kids get a mature palate by trying new foods? If you only serve them chicken nuggets, then that's what they'll be used to. Opie's not the idiot. Melissa stepped way over the line insulting Opie's daughter. Opie was already being gracious by offering alternatives. Melissa has adequacy issues and feels bad for feeding her child frozen foods. He bothered her because I'm sure she sat in bed thinking, should I really let my kitty chicken nuggets for the 20th time this week or let him starve? So background, I dated Max in high school for around a year. My family life was awful, and his parents helped me at that time. After the breakup, they didn't cut me off even though I know it caused some issues with Bax. When I was kicked out at 17, they took me in, launched Sure I see them as my parents and they see me as their kid. I'm close to their daughters and have been attending family events for a few years. Max is getting married to Cindy. I've met her a few times, and I thought she was okay before this. Yesterday, I was getting some mac cheese at the youngest birthday celebration when Cindy asked me what I was doing. I told her I was trying to get mac and cheese, and she got angry. She went on a massive tangent about trying to win Max back and how I'm not part of the family, that I should get my own family since I'm not needed anymore. I told her I wasn't going anywhere and she needed to live with I've been part of this family for 10 years at this point. She ran off after that. I'm getting texts from Max that I'm a huge jerk and need to apologize. The rest are staying neutral and the youngest is annoyed at Cindy. Edit to make it clear, I am part of the family. I call them mom and dad. They tell me I'm their kid. The sisters refer to me as their sister. Not all families are born. Not the idiot. I wonder if Max believes you still want him too. It might be worth being blunt. Something along the lines of all you need to do is reassure Cindy that I don't have ulterior motives. To be clear, I don't know how to say this without sounding insulting, but I'm not into you like that. I haven't been for a long, long time. We were kids when we were together, and we both grown up and moved on. None of this is about you or her. She doesn't have to freak out. Unpopular take, unsure, but you are the idiot, and I don't blame her. I wouldn't love having the ex-girlfriend around all the time either, and I'm not going anywhere. I've been here 10 years. Sounds crappy. It's like you're taunting her that you're more important, which may not be true. Also, she's not your future sister-in-law. She's your ex's future wife. Prepare yourself because things may change. You say you're not going anywhere, but that's not really your decision. Just wait till Max and Cindy have kids. I, a female team, live with my sister, 27, and her fiancé, 26 male, because I was having issues with my parents. My sister has worked on me getting to return with my parents part-time, but it's been a rocky road. I love my sister, but her fiancé likes bossing me around, so I go to her before doing anything. Even then, he still punishes me. A week ago, I asked my sister for the shoes I wanted. She initially said no, but eventually caved. A few days later, I can't find the shoes anywhere. And I asked her fiancé where they are, and he says he took them back. I asked my sister, and she said it was because I didn't do the dishes as she'd asked, and I pressured her into doing it in the first place, and she was tired of me not doing chores. Her fiancé comes into my room later, and says that my sister is having a hard time right now, and I need to stop pressuring her into getting me things and that I need to pull my weight or I'll stop getting allowances too. A few days later, my sister and I were arguing while I was driving home from my parents' house, and she kept on asking me to pull over, which was only stressing me out more. Was trying to pull over, and I ended up toppling her car. When her fiancé found out, he was only concerned about her and whether or not she was okay. She wasn't hurt badly, just a mild concussion, a dislocated shoulder, and some stitches. I broke my wrist and got a total of 16 stitches. He took a week off to care for her while he made me go back to school the next day. She got a bunch of get-well-soon gifts, new pajamas, a nice blanket, and a stuffed animal. Well, fast forward another day, and her boyfriend asked me to help with dishes since the dishwasher was broken, and I hadn't made any dirty dishes that day. I told him that and he looked baffled, but then asked me to scoop the cat litter. I said that it was my cat, and he said I needed to help out. I went up to the bedroom to tell my sister what was going on. And he was telling me to leave her alone, but he was bossing me around. I worked my sister and told what's happening, and she started sobbing. I was initially happy because I thought she was mad at her fiancé too, but then she was all like, "Jack, I can't do this anymore." I tried so hard to be there for her. She was talking about me and not being able to handle me anymore, and her boyfriend's comforting her and telling me that I need to leave her be for a while. I didn't see her for a few days since she'd locked herself away in her room, and then I saw her in the kitchen yesterday after school. I told her that her boyfriend hates me and is trying to taint her opinion against me to get rid of me. And she said that she loves me and her fiancé loves me and that I need to grow up because she take this attitude anymore. I feel like I'm being reasonable here, and her fiancé is being an idiot. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot, and I suspect there's probably a good reason you're living there and not with your parents. You sound like an entitled kid. You are a kid who doesn't want to help out around the house when asked. She's now fed up with you too. And from the way you describe everything, I don't blame her. She wasn't hurt that badly, just a concussion and a dislocated shoulder. It's appalling that OP sees nothing wrong with totaling her sister's car, hurting her, trashing her house, stealing her shoes, and waking her up to complain. Op, stop and really think about your life and how you've made yourself completely unwelcome. And not one but two separate households. Also, she complains because her sister is getting her own fiancé's attention, but then she's also happy because she thought her sister was mad at him. Tell me you need therapy without telling me you need therapy. The fiancé sounds like a rock star. The sister sounds like a saint. Hope he sounds like a spoiled idiot. I feel I'm being reasonable here. Please look up the definition of reasonable because you obviously need help understanding the meaning of the word. We just had people over to the house for my 45th birthday. I reached my 30s without getting married, and then I met my wife 29. She's perfect for me. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever met, and she's so much smarter than me. It's embarrassing sometimes. She's amazing, but she has one weird hang-up. She thinks some of my hobbies are immature, which is fine. She can be the mature one in our relationship. We have 2 kids, young grammar school age. I never thought I wanted kids, but now I know I couldn't live without them. They tried to get me a present for my big birthday, so he went to Toys R Us and got me a sweet Lego set. Then I helped them wrap it up so I could open it up at our party. All the guys were jealous of my new Lego set. I got some nice golf staff and very nice bourbon, but all the guys could talk about was my new Millennium Falcon. For some reason, my wife decided to take the credit from the kids. She told everyone how she got it for me because I'm such a little boy. Our kids heard her and were confused because they knew she wasn't involved. They told everyone how they took me to the store to find something I would love. They even each put in some of their own money. $10 each to buy my gift. The guys asked me about it. I told the truth that my kids and I had bought in, and my gift for my wife was new golf clubs. She's upset that the gift she got me wasn't the one everyone thought was the best. She said I should have made a shift from the family and not just the kids. I told her that the gift was terrific, that I'd be using them for years and that I appreciated it getting me something useful. But I said that the kids chosen to get me a toy and that she shouldn't try and take credit. She says I didn't have to exclude her from the toy shopping, and I didn't need to tell people she wasn't involved in buying me my toy. I didn't. She's told me in the past that it embarrasses her that I play with toys. Not the idiot. If your wife didn't want the truth to come out in detail, she should have kept her mouth shut and not spent the evening explaining how she chose this gift. She finds your hobby immature, but she may change your mind because other people have shown an interest. I thought she was the mature one between the two of you. But if you do the math, she's 29. The older kid is young. So, man, your wife tried to steal the thunder from under your kids. That's just shameful. She didn't think the kids old enough to understand wouldn't speak up. That's laughable. She looked much worse lying about taking the credit from kids than keeping quiet about it. This is why she's more upset about the situation and blaming you for admitting the truth than admitting she screwed up. She got embarrassed by herself.